Ana mama kona da ganiru nanti etirom. Ana mama kona da ganiru nanti etirom. Yo. Ogenede. Okay, one na ya mole ya. Yo. Amuta woke abru woke amuta bogriski amara no bogriski. Ampano wanya, mana wanya. Akode. Onya jana mano na nti echirom. Ganiru. Okay, Odima, lovers of freedom all over the world, we are here to continue the good work. We are here, live and direct. We want to listen to the people of conscience versus people of no conscience. Maybe if we have the time, at the end, we will show you what ritual that has been performed on everybody who wishes Nnamdi Kanu over Nnamdi Kanu's case. At least I am so happy now. I can go home, I can sleep, that Kanu has no hand in what his brother, our leader, is passing through. And those who are wishing our leader not to come out, or who want to exchange him for whatever God knows, or for God knows what reason, in the name of whatever, they don't want him to come out. They are to start facing the dance of Surugede. This is a serious divination. So let us see what this bigots, the bigot versus the real human. You know, when we greet lovers of freedom, fellow Biafrans, and we also greet all seekers of justice all over the world. We salute them. This woman, just like many other people who are here at home with us, who are having official publicity outfits where they work, and who are working with known establishment, they are always careful not to say they are promoting Nnamdi Kanu's cause or sympathizing with him. They are always taking that lenses of, you know, people who support the cause of justice. So this woman, this journalist, talking about the journalist here, she is calling or standing for justice. So she's one of those we greet seekers of justice and lovers of freedom. Now, this is the Yoruba man who is here in the studio, who is there in the studio with her, and who want to see how he can sell black to the public to mean white, and sell white to mean black, so that at the end of the day, he will succeed in convincing all and sundry that it is nothing wrong fitting in round hole or peg in a square hole. But the journalist was far much more smarter. Thus, she was able to demolish every nonsense he came up with. I want us to go together to see, while we will be intermittently coming in to straighten or, you know, add to what they are discussing. Let us go there. Let us go there All right.
Detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has urged those clamoring for his release not to beg for it, asserting that his agitation for self-determination is a constitutionally protected right and not a crime. Speaking through his lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, Kanu emphasized that his release is a matter of compliance with existing court orders, not an issue of presidential pardon or clemency. Ejimako, in a press statement, said, Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu is adamant that nobody should plead or beg anybody on his behalf because he has committed no crime. Self-determination, which is the real issue that got twisted to suddenly become a high crime, is an inalienable right guaranteed under Nigerian law, the United Nations, the United Kingdom, and Kenya. The perverse and unlawful criminalization of this right should not be encouraged through misguided appeals for pardon or clemency. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu is not an act of mercy, but a matter of abiding by the rule of law. Kanu expressed appreciation for those genuinely committed to restoring peace in Igbo land, while cautioning that appeals for pardon might be misconstrued as legitimizing executive or judicial violations of his rights. Ejimako further stated, instead of begging, those desiring his release should emulate the language and tact used by groups like Afenifere or Hanese, the World Igbo Congress, ranking members of the National Assembly, the American military veterans of Igbo descent, and other international bodies who have made it clear that Nnamdi Kanu deserved to be released because he has committed no offense known to law. He also criticized the Nigerian government's handling of the matter, urging the courts to maintain impartiality. Adenko, what do you make of this story?
Okay. Maybe another Nelson Mandela is in the making.
Why do you say that? You're being sarcastic, right?
No, the way I say another Nelson Mandela is in the making. Mandela, while he was in prison, I'm sure he wrote one book, Long Walk to Freedom. So for me, it's his right to say whatever he wants to say. Maybe he's also enjoying the publicity which this is given to him.
Now, are you hearing the Aturu Lokoja? The Aturu Lokoja is telling you that Nnamdi Kanu is enjoying publicity. Look at the Aturu Lokoja. He is referring to the most popular man, the most popular in the whole of Africa. The most popular man living, should be maybe dead or alive. The most popular man. He's telling you he is maybe enjoying.
He's also leveraging on it, never can tell. I wonder why some
leveraging on it to do what? But let's continue.
So okay, my freedom should be on hold because of XYZ. I wish him well.
Did he make any statement that was out of line when he said that now the right, to self-determination is guaranteed under the Constitution, and now he is being tried for the same which is being guaranteed under the Constitution? And he said, if self-determination is his right as guaranteed by the Constitution, why then is it being criminalized in his own case? That's what he's saying. And when people are begging for his release, it means that he is guilty, and therefore, he's guilty, hence they plea for presidential pardon. Because, the president will always pardon the guilty. Why pardon an innocent man? You ought to let an innocent man go. This is what he is saying in essence.
Okay.
So what is wrong with taking that stand?
Okay, I think let me say this. And I've said it in one of the programs here.
Now listen.
And I also say it here again. Despite the fact that there is law of freedom of speech, it's also guided by the law of slander and libel. Law of freedom of association is also guided by unlawful movements and belonging to prescribed organization, and so many other laws which
as at the time this
he thought he was talking to Ewu. He didn't know he was talking to a very smart woman who who will not leave anything unturned, any stone unturned. But let's listen on.
So many
was IPOB proscribed?
As so many other things which are your right, but you know that at some point your right, if this government sees it that it will become a problem, they can also infringe on it. That's true. But the most important one is that Nnamdi Kanu, everybody knew how he was saying all manner of derogatory things against the federal government.
Is that true? Everybody knows he was, saying derogatory things. Everybody know. Fallacy. At populum ad mandata.
Of Nigeria, and these are treasonable offences. If you want to go for self-determination or agitation of your country or your what you feel, let there be facts and figures, and do it in a balanced situation. You don't incite people against the federal government. Say more about the Biafra which you believe, and
now you go hear question now to counter this one.
All the Biafra to the people, and not sit down in a radio station where nobody knows where you're transmitting from, and be saying things, even calling the federal government some names which I don't want to say here, very, very unprintable. You don't do that. These are treasonable offenses. So they are looking at it from that point. If you want to...
Now, he heard him, because this particular side I want to touch, the lady didn't go there. They say things only about your organization and your vision, your mission, what you're pursuing. Don't say anything about the country that you are going away from. So what if the country you're going away from keep accusing, calling names, insulting, and also, witch hunting, as much as well as cutting on avenues for having a round table?
Go for self-determination. You have a right. It's within your right to go for self-determination, but do it within the law. You can organize symposium, you can call people, but you don't incite people. You and I know the situation in that prescribed radio station where nobody knew or knows where they are transmitting from. You don't do that. Now, even the days of Nadeko, when they
is it true that nobody knew when Nnamdi Kanu was transmitting from? Today, you will mess yourself up. Let's continue.
After the Freedom Radio, they got prescribed and they went after them. If what you are determining or what you are agitating for is really, sit down somewhere where they know and sell your product, which is Biafra.
Okay, sit down somewhere where they know. Meaning that where he was transmitting from was not known. You will disgrace yourself today until your village people will be so ashamed of you. Let us continue.
You sell it, let the people buy into it, but not sit down and incite people. And that's part of the problem we're having today in the southeast. Is from what they have incited, what they have sown into the psyche of the people. And people, they get convinced with what they hear on daily basis.
Okay, now first of all, before we go to the psyche of people in the southeast, let me ask you a question and then go. Why is Sunday Igboho walking free?
Sunday Igboho walking free, if you look at the Yoruba struggle and the Biafra struggle, they are two different formats. They are
okay. Sunday Igboho is walking free because if you look at the two struggles, the Yoruba own is different thing from the Biafra own, and Yoruba is preaching unity of Nigeria and Biafra is preaching disunity of Nigeria. Yoruba, Biafra was carrying gun and Yoruba was carrying Bible and Quran. Their own struggle. So what made it free from? What is the real distinction? What? Just tell me what exactly. Now, this man, you
all apart. This Yoruba, they are doing it more at the intellectual level. Have you heard of any violence?
Okay, they are doing their own more at intellectual level. Please, is it Sunday Igboho that was or that is doing the intellectual level? With what? What certification? Okay, so Sunday Igboho is doing the intellectual level, and the Biafran people are doing the village level, or illiterate, or I don't know how to use it. Okay, but let us continue.
In the southwest,
And Igboho has been speaking very glowingly of the federal government.
and never even if he
Igboho has never said anything that was inciting. Igboho has not acted in a way that was inciting as well. Then why did he, what was he doing? Was he in Benin Republic or so? When Buhari was the president? And why did that particular country refuse to repatriate him to Nigeria? Why is he free after Tinubu became the president?
if you look at the
Okay, he doesn't have any answer to give you. Why was Igboho freed immediately Tinubu took over? Why and why and why and why? What was Igboho doing and that Biafran Agitation wasn't doing? So there wasn't treason in his own, there's treason in Biafran own. They were carrying, he was carrying Bible and the Biafran own was carrying. Now, these things I asked already.
We are looking at that.
look at the
I will also come to the Miyetti Allah. The Miyetti Allah president. I'm telling you facts. I mean, they are there. You know, the Miyetti Allah president. You know, at some point he was in prison for issues bordering on terrorism.
Okay.
And you know, to a large extent, you can go and research for yourself how he became free. There was no verdict to you now. How?
Now this lady, this journalist is trying to tell you the thing I said in my program yesterday. That's what she's trying to. How did the Bello Tunji get free? We watched, we saw the court decisions, we saw the free, everything, we saw how it happened. Okay.
He became free and he walked free. Now the question is, if a list has been released on politicians who have sponsored terrorism and currently sponsoring terrorism in the country, these persons are still walking the corridors of power, and nothing is being done. While I'm not making a case for Nnamdi Kanu in any way, by the way, I am not in any way making a case for him, but I am looking at, to a large extent, don't you think that, I mean, for years, this matter appears not to have an end?
Now, she's not making any case for Nnamdi Kanu. You can hear that. She's not making a case for Nnamdi Kanu.
Political matters that started when Nnamdi Kanu's case started have come to a resolution, but this matter not come to an either the court declares him guilty or declares him innocent. That has not been done. Now, to a large extent, don't you think it still trickles down to the psyche of the people in the southeast, like you're saying? Don't you think it concretizes the fact that they feel marginalized and unloved and unaccepted by the government? Now, the other question would be some of
the woman speak one big grammar, so the thing can't turn, they make noise. But, Mama, thank you. Thank you, young lady. You are doing well. See, this Oluku here said he is even more informed in, so rooted in the legal affairs, more than all the Supreme Court justices, judges, the appeal court judges. He is more rooted in the
things that they
so we don't know why the Arthur is thinking that he is informed. If you can listen to his argument, you see he doesn't know anything. That Nnamdi Kanu was transmitting from an unknown place. And because he was agitating, and because of this, his own approach is different from the Yoruba approach. So his own is worth, going in for. The languages he used and all that. Can you hear what?
Probably you're questioning how these agitations were being done. You're questioning the legality of how they have handled these issues so far. But can you sweep those issues under the carpet and say they don't exist? Now, with the federal government taking a particular position, I mean government after government taking a particular position, and people who appear to have even done similar things are working free, don't you think to a large extent it concretizes the fact, to some of the people in the southeast who believe so much in the agitation of the IPOB that what Nnamdi Kanu has been saying is true?
Nnamdi Kanu as a person, for me, I will still say it here without fear of favor, that his mode of operation, the way he goes about it, that's his major problem. He has said so many inciting statements, made so many inciting statements against the federal government of Nigeria, and these are things that are working against him. Secondly, remember he was granted bail, and the manner in which he jumped bail, everybody knows about it.
Now, you can see when somebody is called Oluku. And I have always said this in my programs. Those people whose brain are so water-filled, whose brain are so empty, blockheaded people, they come in the social platforms. They come in the public. I mean, they come to show their ignorance. They come to display their stupendous stupidity. Look at this man now. He's not telling you.
Thirdly,
the way now, okay, let's see here his thirdly.
He also know the way he was caught. And when you catch somebody,
when you say the manner in which he jumped bail, you appear to have forgotten that while he was, let me use that word parole, in his hometown, his hometown was attacked.
By who?
Now look at this. He is asking by who, and he is as ignorant. Please, Esquire, Barrister Aloy Ejimako, please, can you please open up a lawsuit against this man? Make him spend some more money. Open a lawsuit against this man. Make him spend more money. Biafran people go here, go see you. Open up, make this sound normal. Hears from Biafran people. So he is still talking about what even the highest court of the land was able to establish, that it doesn't exist. This Anomano is here still talking about it, that he jumped bail, the manner he jumped bail.
By the military, of course, and it did take some lives.
And anybody,
and after that, the escape happened.
Hold on. Now, as the military come out to claim that this thing was perpetrated by them, was there any statement to it? In Nigeria we are today, people can do so many things as they manage.
That still brings us to another conversation, Edenko.
Yes. Now,
if this person of
Mama, please, what do you even call this Anomanos name? You call him Edenko. This man is, I don't know what to qualify this. Honestly, this one is the biggest of all the buffoons I've ever seen on the platforms, on all platforms. This one is the biggest of all buffoons. He doesn't even follow up, even by the way of even gossip or hearsay. He doesn't even know anything. But he feels he has hatred, he has bitterness against the people and against a man whom God has blessed so much, distinguished him, blessed him, showered him with extraordinary intelligence. Look at
interest. Like it or yes, he is a person of interest, not just to the federal government, but to the southeast and to the...
Did you even listen to the author? He said, has the military accepted that anything could be state managed? Look at you. Something that different levels of Nigerian courts with evidences has verified and have even given Nigerian government levied a fine to be paid to Nnamdi Kanu in form of damages. 2 different courts levied a fine on the government to pay for that atrocity. Now, these are
stability of Southeast as well. If this person of interest is, under house arrest, and an attack of that nature happens, and it was not condemned by the federal government. Now you're saying that if the military did not acknowledge that they did that operation, then who did? That's the question. Then who did? Why are we not having clear results of investigation? Right? Now the question is, who did? Now the life and property of every single Nigerian is the primary responsibility of the government, both at the state and the federal level, and that includes the life of Nnamdi Kanu as well. So when things like this happen, we can't sweep them under the carpet that they just happened.
Nobody swept anything
so
under the carpet.
Regardless, okay, let's just assume it was done by someone. Okay. Why was there no concrete investigation? And where, if those people were, if those people were identified, why are we not hearing that so and so has been done by the courts? They have been arraigned before a court. So and so has been done. These are the questions.
Now let's look at it again.
Pending when a court declares him guilty, he's still innocent and should be treated with dignity, don't you think?
For me, till otherwise, these are, I won't call it allegation, they are charges. Allegation and charges are 2 different things. Charges are pressed based on evidences and empirical facts and figures. So these are charges against him. It's left for the court to prove otherwise, and we're still in the court. So let everybody come allow
just need to maneuver yourself out of the question. I'll still ask you that question.
No problem.
Because yes, I will ask you that question again. I asked you when you were talking about the fact that you said he escaped bail, he jumped bail and all that, he was under house arrest and he ran away. Was there any threat when he was under house arrest?
I'm not aware that.
Interesting. I find it very interesting. I'm not aware.
No, wait. First, I knew his place was attacked.
Okay, let's listen to you.
But to say who did, I don't know.
Now, this place was
now, this is he now defending who now? That even the military has not denied this. This case has been in the court for how many years now? And the court has even established a fact and has even levied a fine and has also quashed the case, has also told the Nigerian government to, in fact, has even quashed these 15 charges. So where is he manufacturing the crime that he's leveling on Nnamdi Kanu? So if Nnamdi Kanu is guilty, why is there no execution? Why is there no judgment? What is the government running away from? For how many years? Now, on what premise is the court going to sit on his matter? On what will be the locus to stand on? How is the... Now that is why the author you are looking at here is a bingo. It's a bingo. A bingo.
If his place was attacked, how then do you expect him to feel safe? I'm not playing the devil's advocate, but we are looking at all perspectives right now.
I'm looking at it from a bigger picture. I'm looking at it from a larger perspective. I'm not just being myopic. I'm looking at it from a larger perspective. Now, if his place was, we've had so many instances in the past where military, they attack hideouts they attack places of perceived people who are under national threats to security, and they come out, issue a press statement that we have attacked XYZ so place, and these are what we found out. But in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, nobody has come out to say, okay, it's the federal government. If
now look at when you know that somebody is a glorified buffoon. Listen to you can remember the then Abia State governor. That was this man with big belly that is always backward now. Can somebody remind me that his name? The man that is always backward with big belly. That was one of the Ashebi ushers of Wike during the 2023 jokes they called the election. So now you remember the person. Ibazo. So now one of those Ashebis, they call it Ibazo. He was there. He said he attested to what happened. That even when the commander of 82 division came to visit, he didn't know that they were planning to attack. Then when he said it, he was helpless. While he was telling him there in his office as a governor that he will, they came to carry out some operations in Nnamdi Kanu's house and that. So that he didn't know they already even launched the attack. So a sitting governor who was under oath, in his own state where he is the chief security officer, has attested to that. The courts of competent jurisdictions have attested to this, has even come with judgments, levied fines on the government to pay compensation, different courts. And this Mama, I think I will not even entertain this your interview again.
Okay, even if they assume now that is the federal, do they have facts? Do they have figures?
Look at what the EU is asking. Do they have facts that it was federal government that attacked? When there are judgments on the case already. Let us leave this EU because he is a never do well. I want to see if there are responses to read out. Okay, Philip Elo is asking who was the bagger that is answering this. The other one, Ifoha Emmanuel, what a shameless old fool, and concluded that he is a big disgrace. In fact,
yes, we have evidences. See, we don't whip up sentiment.
And the other one, Stanley said, I blame people that even invited you. Because now this one is telling, you are telling Nigerians that the CCTV that was presented before the court, maybe it was your village people that generated it. Or was it your malfunctioning Obolo? And the other question, they said, this old fool may something worse than Nigeria happen to you. Okay, so if I entertain almost 3,000 comments from here, you can see simultaneously all of them are saying things against the person. Oga, I will have to play something since you like to defend this thing. Somebody already said something bigger than Nigeria should happen to you, but I will not stop it at that. There are a lot of people who are supposed to be brothers, Igbo brothers, who have worked against Nnamdi Kanu, said evil things against Nnamdi Kanu. I am going to show you what has happened. There is a strong ritual rite that have been performed. And if you say this is Karaka, you can do anything and get away. We want to play this so that we will draw the curtain from here. Look at this. Since you said you are here to protect evil, it's good. You might not hear the language. Me, I hear the language very well. It is my language too.
Put the book mass. I will know what's wrong with guy George. I will know what is not guy. Let's get on. See, I get to my marriage. I will know one man have been I get anybody a chair marriage. When I don't never know when I read you about how no real.
Before I even join my own Ise, in case if there was any way out of anger, anyhow out of anger, that earlier time, I agreed with that bunch of Ndoshi, those criminals in DOS, to accept that your hands was there. My brother, forgive me, but I can't remember exactly. But if I did by any means, because that period, that gossip was so disheartening, that you had a hand in what happened to your brother, what you are doing today gives me the almost 100% assurance that you had nothing to do with it. And yes, although there was a time where you were moving, talking against Simon Ekpa, whom we believe so much in his commitment, which is very obvious that he's working in our favor. So I was against you, but when it comes to this issue of talking against your family, like those criminals, those bunch of lunatics in the DOS were doing, I didn't think I had anything to do with that. And any genuine Biafra, on behalf of all our sincere Biafrans who believed in that gossip that spanned from the table of those criminals, those lunatics, my brother, you have to forgive, because it was done in the spirit of love for our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. So my apologies. Even the gods of the land have heard. I'm sure you have heard. So have forgiven us. You're welcome. So let's hear and continue to join you in saying, in case there are people who are in this current day struggle, whether they are from Ogenkere or from Ngozi Rabeza and Ngoro Rabeza herself, if you are sincere and you said that thing about shortchanging the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu with the Finland Convention Declaration stroke, please, if you are sincere, make sure you find a way to make some public apology. I'm asking you for the second time, so that this course they are laying, if you are sincere, but if you are not sincere, you don't enter one chance. Busy, better busy. Then Ogenkere, please, myself, what is obvious, what is evident, I don't think what is seen, what man can see with his eyes, it doesn't appear you have anything against the struggle. But if you have, sorry, you don't enter one chance. Now better busy. That is why since yesterday I started clamoring for all energy by all lovers of freedom, all Biafrans should be channeled to canvassing for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, using all the social media platforms to make sure that every now and then you come online, talk about the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. Since we are not certain that any of these two people are really genuine, we are not certain. If you believe in Ngozi, continue. If you believe in Ogenkere, that's okay. But for me, at a point, I think our whole energy should go for these people I know God has called up for this work. So we should insist and make sure they are released so that they continue with what God has assigned to them. That's what I believe in. So if God has also called on these two or any of them, God will make sure they succeed. Yes, there was a time when Gamaliel was, Gamaliel, that was in the Bible. I don't know, some of you say you go to church, that we are traditionalists and then we know the Bible more than you. Gamaliel was beckoned on to help criticize or nail St. Paul, then who was Saul. And he made a very clear statement said, if truly St. Paul, this Saul, is saying the truth, and if truly what he is introducing to us or preaching, proclaiming is true, that he will surely prevail. But if it is wrong doctrine and it's not from God, that he will surely fail. So let it be according to this. And we are giving 100% support to this ritual that is performed here now by the elders of Biafran land from Afaruku, who are joining a brother of our supreme leader, who is now already possessing a lot of good energy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I mean, this is his brother now. You can see him, his tone, his gesture, his gesticulations is almost synchronizing with that of our supreme leader. His tone, his accent, his body movement as a whole. So maybe the spirit is beginning to possess him. So let us play on.
Ayo na ni so ram sugai jojo ayo na ni do na sugai let's be about sile ke tu ma ro ayo na wan na na ni ni na ke ni ba ka che ma ro mana na dum na fa na ko mana ro fi ba ha na pa na o ka ba ha pa na no ri na so na ko na ko ko be shi we I'm not plan to do now a coalition. No, no, but I'm broke up on the Ghana. No, no, we do have to say. Can the family put ya? Or Fanny, I was a fan. When I name it, I was a fan. Have a run in the time to say. And as I have as one man the kind of and I said, I don't know the car on the strong on the I don't know about John because I get you a fool. I got one. This guy I never share with you. I will not go for nothing. Okumanga is the man who is what we can. When I could have said, oh, why did you know what you were like? I got my jack police. She let get about if you know behind my game, let's go over to you. This is the tradition of the prayer. You know, I get you a large amount I never to buy you. So I have very good. Nnamdi Kanu will go see. Now, this thing I get a good way of shot. I'm not going to find a mother who is going to
Oh, he say, gongo to kago kole. He say, ome nabo, ome na kwobe neke, kago kole, gongo to kago kole. Please, if you are a supporter of DOS and you have joined by mistake, you have joined some of those criminals to fight against Nnamdi Kanu's family. By mistake, this same way I apologized, this same way I pleaded, whether I am sure I did or not, I want you to do so, because it is important you do so. As I can see, there is a transfer of power. That spirit that was within Nnamdi Kanu has also, his brother has contracted that spirit too. Yes, there is some sort of impartation. There is spiritual impartation that took place, and he has contracted the spirit of a prophet, and I don't think he will remain the same going forward. So try to make sure. You know, Nnamdi Kanu, he has committed so much. You can understand the power of his brain, his mental strength. You know, it's not a common one. So if he chooses to walk or do anything with his life other than fighting for us, you know, he is an exception. He's a rare species. He's an uncommon brain. You know that. So please, if you joined people to fight all this saga against Nnamdi Kanu's family, please find way and save your head and the head of your family. Very important, not jokes. Not jokes. Do so and be grateful you did. Thank you, and may God bless you all. Do well to share this program, because we are going to continue to bombard this social media space with our clamor for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa, as in turn the freedom of Biafra will become much more easier. You know, we missed the target because Simon Ekpa is not on seat. The Donald Trump inauguration, he should have been there, and his presence there would have been a whole lot of plus to what we are doing. So I charge you to make sure you demand that any of these two people you are following, make sure that you press them to bring out their time, their resources, their know-how to ensure the freedom of our leaders. They should make it their major duty, because they don't seem to have any much to do. So these men who are called for this work, let them make sure that they give their best. It will be recorded for good for them. Thank you. God bless you. Remain share. Drop your comment, like, subscribe. Very important. Thank you.